I have a question. Is Jermell Charlo ducking Tim Tszyu? We need answers. Let me ask it again for the people in the back. I have a question. Because Jermell Charlo is moving up in weight to fight Canelo Alvarez and not Tim Tszyu, is he ducking Tim Tszyu? Let me paint the picture in its full totality. We know this to be true. This is not an opinion. This is not hearsay. This is facts. Jermell Charlo was literally in negotiations to fight Tim Tszyu. The negotiations obviously went well because both fighters were scheduled. And it was on Showtime's scheduling. Remember they rolled the schedule out? Back in January? That Tim Tszyu was going to fight Jermell Charlo for the undisputed junior middleweight championship of the world. It was already publicized by Showtime. It was already publicized by PBC. But Jermell Charlo injured his hand. He injured his hand. So since he injured his hand, he couldn't compete and he had to pull out of the fight with Tim Tszyu. Because that happened, Tim Tszyu went on to fight Tony Harrison when Tony Harrison raised his hand voluntarily to get a shot at Tim Tszyu so that he can be back into championship contention to fight Charlo for the third time. Well, Tim Tszyu, we saw what he did to Tony Harrison. And then a few months after that fight, Tim Tszyu fought again, waiting for Jermell Charlo. So the question on the floor again is because Jermell Charlo, excuse me, did I say Jermell? Yes. Because Jermell Charlo was expected to fight Tim Tszyu, and now he's not fighting Tim Tszyu. He's coming off of that injury, moving up in weight to fight Canelo Alvarez. Is he a duck? That's my question. Is Jermell Charlo a duck? People in the chat is saying yes, he is a duck. Let's see if anybody's saying no. Somebody in the chat said no. He's not a duck. So we have a mixed crowd today. Some people are saying absolutely not. Some people are saying no. He's not a duck. Some people in the chat are saying yes. He is a duck because he's moving up to fight Canelo instead of fighting Tim Tszyu. Now, for the people that say that Charlo is not a duck because he's fighting Canelo, I want to hear your reason why. Why isn't he a duck? Let's talk about it right now. Someone said he's not a duck because he has nothing to lose. Someone else in the chat says that he's fighting a harder fight in fighting Canelo than he is fighting Tim Tszyu, so he can't be a duck. Anyone else? Okay. Now, for those of you that say that Charlo is a duck, I want to hear from you. Mr. Pragmatic, salute to you. Always a pleasure to see you, family. Welcome. For those of you that are saying that Jermell Charlo is a duck because he's not fighting Tim Tszyu to defend his titles, but he's moving up in weight to fight Canelo Alvarez. Let me hear your reason of why he is a duck. In the chat, in the comment section below, if you're watching the replay of this live. Someone says it's financially ducking. Someone says, I thought a duck is when you avoid fighting tough competition and then you turn around and fight an easier opposition. We're going to deal with that in just a few seconds. Can someone tell me if Jermell Charlo is a duck, if you believe that, how is he a duck? Let's talk about it right now. Can somebody in the chat tell me why? You believe he is a duck. Tell me why. People that believe that he was not a duck or is not a duck, they told me why. Now I'm asking that same question to those who believe that Charlo is a duck. Okay, so now to those of you that believe that Charlo is not a duck, and for those of you who believe that Charlo is a duck, my question to you now is, if Devin Haney fights Regis Prograis, instead of fighting Tank Davis, is Devin Haney a duck? I want to compare both fighters now, Devin Haney and Jermell Charlo. Let me ask that question again for the people in the back. If Jermell Charlo is moving up in weight to fight Canelo Alvarez, instead of fighting Tim Tszyu to defend his belts, undisputed, that is Charlo a duck? Yes or no? Second question, regardless of your answer, is Devin Haney a duck if he moves up in weight to fight Regis Prograis and not Tank Davis? We need answers. I want some engagement about this because we see that Haney is undisputed as a champion in his division. And we also see Jermell Charlo being undisputed as a champion in his division. But both guys are moving up. One is official, one is unofficial. Charlo is official fighting Canelo. It is unofficial that Haney is fighting Regis. They got it in the works, though. So I want to understand the concept of the duck between Charlo and Haney. So I'm hearing that neither one of those guys are ducks. That's what I'm hearing. But the thing is that Regis Prograis is a more easier fight for Devin Haney to win than a fight with Tank Davis. Now, according to what somebody asked earlier, that's why I said we're going to spin the block and I'm going to speak on that. Someone said in the chat, and I'm going to post it. No other is the name. No other. I thought a duck is when you avoid fighting tough competition and then turn around to fight a easier opposition. Because people call Terrence Crawford a duck. Because he didn't fight Spence at the time that he was supposed to as a champion. He fought David Evanesia, a lower, easier opposition. Right? Devin Haney, if he fights Regis Prograis, he's fighting an easier opposition than him fighting Tank Davis. But look at the contrast in what Charlo is doing. Charlo was supposed to fight Tim Tszyu, but he's moving up in weight to fight a harder opposition in Canelo Alvarez. So that's why I asked that question about the ducking. If Devin Haney do not fight Tank Davis next, after all of the trash talking that mainly his father did, but both of them did against Tank, and the trash talking that Tank Davis did against them, and all of the things we've heard in the last year about the Haneys saying they just wanted to fight the best fights. They want to fight the best level of competition. We've heard the Haneys, Bill and Devin, particularly Bill Haney, say this. But if Devin Haney moves up in weight to fight Regis Prograis, that's not the same as Charlo moving up in weight to fight Canelo. I'm just saying. It's not the same. That's what made me ask that question. Salute to you, Aaron Muhammad. I see you in the chat, my brother. So we have to deal with the realities of the distinction between what Charlo is doing and if Devin Haney does moving up in weight, even though he's undisputed, the difference. We got to understand the difference between what both of those guys are doing if he does move up in weight. He, meaning Devin Haney, move up in weight as the undisputed champion at 135 to fight Regis. And here's another distinction. Business. I got to give business perspective. When Charlo move up in weight to fight Canelo, he's going to get paid 10 times more for fighting Charlo than he would if he fought Tim Tszyu. And that's a fact. However, if Devin Haney move up in weight to fight Regis, he's going to get paid 10 times less than he would if he fought Tank Davis. And that's also a fact.